Well, Shawn, welcome to Members Only, brother.
Thank you for having me.
Man, it's a pleasure here. World famous comedian.
Well, I mean, you say it. Go ahead.
Hey, man, it's the truth.
You know, I'm knowing a little bit. I'm knowing a little bit. Little here, a little there, you know.
Yeah.
New York, Philly.
If you wasn't the best of the best, you wouldn't be sitting here, brother.
I appreciate you. Thank you.
Yeah, so speaking of comedy, like what motivated you to get into comedy?
What motivated me to get into comedy?
Yep.
I was always into comedy, right? I was always into it, but
You was the class clown or something, or?
I grew into the class.
Okay.
But it was an insecurity thing. It was a defense mechanism. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, I'm a little dude, and it was like the defense mechanism to fight off the bullies. I was slick with my mouth, which ended up having to face the fire after school. But during school, I could put on a show. So I was a rapper. Obviously, I was a rapper. I was a rapper.
Really?
That was it. I was going to get a deal.
You know you sound like Mad Rapper, right?
Yes, everybody told me that when when Mad Rapper came out, I said, okay. So fast forward, I'm doing nothing with my life, doing demos, we're doing a little bit of shows, I'm working in the shipping department, I got a fiance, I'm just following her, what she does. She goes to college, I hang out at her college every weekend. I'm the dude who doesn't go to the college but got the college hoodie on, got the college sweatpants
Sleeping
on.
in the dorm.
Sleeping in the dorm. It was so crazy that she had the showers with the females on her floor. I was there so much they didn't even mind that I'd walk in the showers while they were showering.
Shut up.
On everything I love. It was kind of disrespectful. You know, it's kind of fact that y'all was like, just let them in, whatever. But
Yeah.
I was like, am I allowed to curse or we keep it clean?
You good, brother.
Okay. So I followed her and I was there and I was working in the shipping department. Then she went to graduate school. Once again, improving her life, I'm still working in the shipping department. So I follow her to NYU in New York.
Nice.
I'm from New York.
Right.
So I'm like, this is cool. So every weekend I'm in New York. She's studying. One day we just go to a comedy club. I'm at the comedy club and we're watching. And I stop listening. And I start thinking, wait a second, I wouldn't have said that. I would have said this. And I was like, yeah. So ignorance is bliss. I do what comedians laugh at people doing, but you got to do it. But you don't know comedians. So they're sitting at the bar. I go up to them and I go, I want to be a comedian. I'm funny, I can be a comedian. What do I do? That's a thing that you hear every day. Every comedy club I go to. That's why I don't diss people who say that, because I remember being that person. They say go to an open mic at the club that I'm at, New York Comedy Club. It's at 3 o'clock. You pay $10, you get 5 minutes. So I said, I called out of work, because it's a weekend. I called out of work. I stayed in the dorm. I walked my girl to her class at NYU. And then I went, and I didn't take my car out the garage because it's too much money to take it out and put it back in.
Correct.
So I walked like 15 blocks. But listen, I'm gassed. I'm like, it's on, right? So I get there, I got one joke. I pay my $10, and I don't know that if you do an open mic, it's the Terradome. It's nothing but a bunch of bitter-ass comedians who are sitting there with their notebooks. Who don't give a fuck about what you're talking. They don't care about you. And especially because I wasn't part of the circuit. They was really like, whatever. I had one joke. Got on stage. They laughed once in 5 minutes. But the time they laughed, it was the epiphany. It was the mind-blowing, all of a sudden it clicked. I'm doing this for the rest of my life.
You found it.
And I'm like, and I tell people all the time, do you know how much people would pay if I told you, I guarantee you're gonna walk into this room, and when you walk out, you're gonna know exactly what you're gonna do career-wise for the rest of your life. They'll pay thousands, hundreds of thousands.
That is correct.
I walked out, it was sunny, I walked back, picked up my girl, she said, how'd you do? My girl at the time, she said, how'd you do? I said, good. I said, they laughed. I'm gonna do this for the rest of my life. And she was like, okay. And she was like, cool. And she didn't know that career would literally be the reason why our marriage ended.
Oh.
Because when I said I was gonna do it for the rest of my life, there's only been like 1 or 2 times I've said that I put my mind to something. I said, I'm going to do this. So I was working in the shipping department and I found out that we had a 401k. I didn't know what a 401k was. I had no clue. And one day I asked, what is this that I keep seeing a deduction? And this white lady named Susan, never forget, she was like, that's your retirement plan. I said, what do you mean? She said, yeah, that's money that they put aside. I said, well, first of all, how much is in it, and how do I, if I want to get it? She's like, no, you can't do it. They're gonna tax you. You're gonna get taxed crazy. You don't want to do this. Your retirement plan. But here's the number. So I called the number, and I'm married now. Yeah, I'm married, and I called the number, and the lady answers the phone. I said, I want to check my 401k. What did it say the name? And she says, I said, I want to know my balance. And she said, I don't know, $10,758. I said, how do I get it?
I'll take that.
She goes, no, you're gonna get taxed. You're gonna get taxed. I said, send it. How do I get it? She said, now mind you, there's no direct deposit back then. There is no, they can just
paper check, baby.
They're gonna mail it.
Yep.
So I give her my mom's address. This probably, yeah, it was my fault the marriage ended. Because I didn't even want it to go to our address. I sent it to my mom's address. And I said, how much is it? So she said how much it was. I said, when will it be here? She said 4 to 5 business days. It came, I saw the physical check, walked into my job, and my boss was Jim Holt. I said, Jim, I quit. He's like, whatever. And he's joking. He's like, I said, Jim, you've been really good to me.
Yeah.
You really have. But I'm out.
Out of here.
Why are you leaving? I'm gonna be a comedian. I was already doing shows, but I was getting paid like $20, $30. Like I was hustling in New York. And I'd make like, for the weekend, I'd make like $80 or something like that. And I was killing it because I was gas money. I took the money, went home, and my ignorant ass did not discuss this with the woman I was married to. And when she found out that I quit my job when she tried to wake me up for work, and the alarm went off, she said, get up. I said, no, I quit.
Oh, no.
Yeah. And then she was like, you quit? What are you gonna do? I said, I'm doing what I'm doing. Like, I'm gonna do this comedy thing. She was like, you're making like $80. What are you talking about?
In New York City, right?
In New York City. We're living in Jersey City now. She leaves. She's pissed. But as God would have it, within 6-7 months, 6-7 months, no more than a year, I was making my first television appearance.
And what was that?
Showtime at the Apollo, and Steve Harvey was the host.
What?
And I performed. It was me and Usher. I wasn't in the competition. I was actually a guest. And I performed the scariest time of my. That was top 3 scariest moments ever because we were sitting in the back and Usher's performing. We just hear the music. And we're in this. If you ever been to the Apollo, like it's real tight. There's nothing glamorous in the back of the Apollo. Even the stars' dressing room ain't glamorous. Like there's nothing. Everything's tight. So the comedians are sitting there, and we hear the crowd go crazy. And you know, I just look around. I'm like, yo, whoever's next is fucked, cause. And I swear if that lady didn't come in and said, Michael Shawn, you're next. And everybody got quiet and looked at me, and I said, fuck. So I was so nervous. I'm looking to rub for those who know Showtime at the Apollo, there's a log that you rub, but that's just
correct.
That's for the contestants. So I'm looking around
it's
like, where's the log? Yeah. And the guy's like, there is no log, dog. You're a guest. You're one of the guests. But I see the log, and it's in the dark, right? It's just sitting in the dark in a corner. I said, fuck this. I went to the log, and I rubbed it. And went and I did, I think it was like 6 minutes. And the scary part about the Apollo is because we know the Apollo. Their job is to boo. They don't care if you're the guest.
Correct.
Especially when you're a comedian. Like singers and stuff get away with it when Usher's not gonna get booed. They're going crazy once he gets on. But the scary part is I didn't plan this out correctly. My first joke had a long setup. So I'm doing the setup and it's quiet. I mean, it's like this. It's sold out, but it's like this. And I'm like, in my mind, I'm doing the joke, and I said, when I hit this punchline, if this don't hit, it's over.
You're done.
Because I done got their attention. I got them. They're looking like, you know, I'm loud. I'm blizzard, and I hit the punchline, and they explode laughing. I don't remember anything after that. All I remember is doing a set, and my last joke was a reference to the Fugees. I did the joke. Steve Harvey comes over and whispers in my ear, that's how you do it. You know how Steve is always, he's always been, that's what I'm talking about. You did it, you didn't use any vulgarity, and he kept it moving, never talked to me again. And then I walked off, and from there, and my wife at the time was there. And it was kind of like, in my mind, I was like, yeah, you didn't really think this was really gonna happen like this. So we went to dinner and everything like that, and from there, the career took off.
Nice.
That's went to then from there it was BET Comic View in LA.
Yeah.
And then we was just touring around the country, and it was doing comedy. It was LA, New York, the whole nine, and got into radio through comedy, and it was on.
Nice.
So that was the long story. That was a long story on how this whole thing happened.
But classic. So is it safe to say that was your favorite performance, best performance, or?
My favorite performance was in the theater in Madison Square Garden.
Ooh, using MSG, bro?
Yes, D.L. Hughley was hosting. Paul Mooney, rest in peace, was on the show.
Yeah.
Paul Mooney, I'm forgetting people, and they had me right before the headliner of the show. And that was the best. That was the moment, because my family was there. The place is sold out. You're walking up to Madison Square Garden, and you're seeing the billboard, you're seeing the video, and you're seeing the name, and you're like, wow, this is crazy. And it was the perfect set. It was perfect. And unfortunately, I don't have any footage of it.
What?
I have any footage of it. And it was the perfect set. Like, it was perfect. And we went, and D.L. Hughley sat, and we've been friends since then. D.L. Hughley talked to me, said, you know what you need to do. And it's funny because I didn't know what I needed to do. And DL was like, you better get out of here. Like, I at that point, I'm working at Hot 97 in New York, doing the morning show. He's like, you got to get out of here. You got to go. And I'm like, yeah, but can you help me? He was like, no. he straight said, but he ain't say it in a mean way. He was like, you got to do this on your own. He's like, this is you. And I was like, what the fuck? I was like, okay. Because I had been to LA, and that was great, but at the same time I panicked, and I'm a very self-destructive person. So, and I've had a propensity of every time things go really well, I
self-sabotage.
Self-sabotage, and that's something. Going to rehab and talking to therapists, and and the therapist is breaking it down. He goes, wow, I see a pattern here, and I was like, fuck, you're right. Even if up to not too long ago, even with the situation with radio station, that was me. And it's a weird dynamic, and it took but I don't think anything happens by coincidence. I think everything happens for a reason. So it's something I have to be very aware of. Like, I have to be more aware when things are going well than I am when things are going poorly. When things are going poorly, I refocus and I'm back on it. When things start doing well, that's when I start falling into real bad habits.
So where do we go from here?
Man, listen, it's funny. I do a morning show, and the app is called Free Agent Radio.
Yeah.
So I'm finally doing a morning show that I would want to do. No disrespect to any morning show I've ever been on. I have the team that's been with me since Philly. I worked in Philly. I did a night show, so I brought the team back. And it's Free Agent Radio. Download the app. We're on there every morning, 6 a.m. to 10 a.m. basically. And we're doing that, and then trying to create this brand and trying to get this show together, where it's not only you listen to it, you can watch it, and people who watch it know it's really like a TV show that we're doing. And it's just trying to get people to watch. When people watch it, like, we've interviewed Bill Bellamy, Lunel, Rodney Perry, Johnny Gill, and when they're on it, they all say the same thing. They're like, this is great. Like, we just need, it's just getting the people to, there's a trillion things to watch now. It's the gift and the curse. There's ways for you to put content out, but there's a million people putting content out. So it's trying to find the lane, and trying to get the push and the marketing, and knowing that this whole social media thing is a full-time job of just content.
I tell people that all the time.
Content.
Yes.
And people think it's a simple thing. No, you're really, if you're gonna do it, you're really writing out things and really trying to do, and it's not. I mean, it's easier than what it used to be. But it's still a 24-hour job. That's the problem. Now it's a 24-hour job. There is no time where you can say, there's nothing I can do. No, there's something you can do right now.
Yes, that is correct, sir.
You can promote right now. You can put anything on anything right now and make people aware. So that's what, right now, that show is what I'm trying to put. I am pushing.
All right.
And it's gaining traction, but now it's, how do we go, like what you're doing. There's a level to everything that you're doing. You have an idea of where it needs to be. And are we ever satisfied?
I don't think we are.
Yeah.
As a human race, we're never humans.
And sometimes that's the problem with like, you gotta enjoy this journey.
It's all about the journey. People focus too much on the goal line and the destination. Enjoy the journey.
The journey is and I know it sounds, repetitive and people say it, but we forget. You forget every day. When people, especially I've been to rehab like 2 or 3 times, and every time I go and reboot, and it's reminding people to live in that moment, because technically that's not technically, in reality, the reality of the reality, that is the only thing you control is me and you right now. That's the only thing I control. Is me and you talking right now. I can't control nothing that happened yesterday. And I can't control anything that's gonna happen tomorrow. I can invest in what's gonna happen tomorrow, but right now, this is the only thing I have control of. So when we do that morning show, we really have fun. And I make sure that this is gonna be, the energy is right. And it's the first time I've had perfect energy amongst the people, because the people that are on my show are people that will walk into a burning house to save my kids. So we can say whatever we want to each other, and there's no form of disrespect. We can debate, and there's not going to be a disrespectful situation. We're not going to take it as disrespect. We're going to debate, and then when we're done, we're going to laugh and go back to it. So Free Agent Radio, Michael Shawn and the Takeover Legends is what I'm promoting. And obviously I'm doing stand-up all the time.
Right.
So.
Well, let's get behind you on that.
Because
having your own thing is everything.
Yes.
Like you said, the energy, your team, that's everything.
Yep.
And everything happens for a reason.
Yes.
It's a reason why you're here. It's a reason why things have happened in the past and the present to get us to where we need to go in the future.
Yes.
You know, your story is deep, and we can't get it all in one interview. So
right.
We're going to have to get a couple of these scheduled, sir.
No, we can. We definitely can.
Yeah. I'm a visionary, brother. I see you having your own Netflix special, if it's done right. I see you at least being in that media streaming platform of a Netflix, a Hulu, or Amazon. Like, you deserve to be there. You put the work in, regardless if we feel we self-sabotage, you went after your passion.
Yes, sir.
You know what I mean? And you stayed on it, and you had to sacrifice marriages, careers, whatever, to get to a certain place. So, hey man, the best is yet to come. Keep pushing forward.
And quick, before, I just want to say this, where I released on YouTube right now.
Okay.
It's called Relapse Again. So it's all about, it's an hour and a half about my battle with this addiction called alcohol. So that's on there, and when you were telling me what I'm trying, we've launched it on YouTube, but I want to relaunch it again. And you said the Netflix and stuff, we're pitching that. So to all your viewers watching, you just type in Relapse Again, and you will see the 1 hour special. The 1.5, it's like an hour and 30 minutes special. And it's not funny. It's just me telling a story on my long battle with this.
We got you out.
Yep.
Michael Shawn, we thank you for everything.
Appreciate
the best is yet to come. Let's keep working.
Yes, let's go.
Done.
All right, thanks, brother. Appreciate you.